Thank you for joining us in this week's edition of Birmingham Television. I think education is one of the major, most important topics that the city of Birmingham faces. We've heard a lot of the bad things, of course, but there are people who are trying to address those things. And today I have in the studio with me Mr. Grooms, who's with the Yes We Can Birmingham, a grassroots initiative that was started several years ago to help bring assistance to the Birmingham school system. And I'll let him explain all the details. Thank you, Mr. Grooms.
Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah, just give us a kind of brief overview of Yes We Can Birmingham.
Be glad to. I guess about mid-2007, there was a very good, strong initiative among business leaders, community leaders, to start doing something very proactive to work with the Birmingham City Schools to improve those schools and the quality of education for students. And not knowing exactly what path we would take, we stumbled upon a way that would say, why don't we go to the people? Why don't we ask the people what is needed to improve our city schools? And that's what we did. And that grassroots effort was a campaign that went on for a little over a year. And we actually went out into communities asking very structured questions, but very simple questions as to soliciting people's ideas, thoughts, and suggestions that would help improve the Birmingham City Schools. We held community conversations, as we call them, in about 117 communities throughout the entire Birmingham City School District, talked to over 2,000 people. We documented what people had to say, and from that we have this document that is called We the People, and this represents the voice of the people, their ideas and thoughts and suggestions as to what would help improve Birmingham City Schools.
Now this is actually based on kind of a model out of Mobile, Alabama, my hometown, peace, the hometown, where it was a grassroots community, a kind of a bottom-up effort, I believe it was.
That's correct.
Where the system, people had to, of course now it's a county-wide system, and so the schools, you don't have like a bunch of little school systems surrounding a big one, it's all one big school system. But what I think I remember the mayor of Mobile saying once was that they had one of the schools there was like one of the worst schools, and turned it around as one of the better schools in the country. They had people come from around the country to come and come to see that school. And so I know this is a very grassroots effort in terms of you getting the people involvement, but how much have the people really bought into this, and how are the people bought into this enough that they're going to hold elected officials accountable for what they say they want?
Well, you know, I find it very exciting, stimulating to know that when people are given an opportunity to have their input heard and feel like it's being heard and acted upon, that is a lot of strength in that. And we find that people in Birmingham, the community, want only the same things that everyone else wants in their schools. High quality education, high standards, high achievement levels, safe environments, and those kind of things. So we went with this voice of the people to the leadership of the Birmingham City School and said, okay, this is what the people have indicated will help improve our Birmingham City Schools. We want you, as the city school board leaders, to adopt the voice of the people, develop plans, and take actions on those suggestions and focus areas that the people think are very, very important.
Yeah, I want to read one of the quotes out of this book. It says, stop passing children who are not ready to read and write. Nip it in the bud and pull the student aside and give them extra time to learn. Don't let them come out of the 6th grade without a foundation. So obviously, whoever wrote this is seeing that their kids, I mean, when you have an illiteracy rate in the county, in the city as high as it is, somebody is not teaching these kids how to read. And so this parent, whoever wrote this quote, apparently they should be a very important concern. So who should be held accountable for this, and what are we going to do to improve it?
Well, the short answer is the entire community. The more direct responsibility, of course, lies with the Birmingham City School system. And one of the things I think marked a willingness to listen to the people and make changes is when we gave this and submitted the Yes We Can Birmingham organization group, gave this to the Birmingham City School Board. They adopted and put it into what they call the Birmingham City School Strategic Plan, long-range plan over the next 5 years or so. What's interesting about it is that if you would look, say, on page 9 there, and compare their priority focus areas and look at what the community set or focus primary areas, and these are not all things we need to work on, but they line very well with each other, which is an indication that the school board is saying, we heard you, we're willing to adopt these things such as academic achievement, excellence.
Let's go over the 4 things that you said that the 4 focus areas of BVF. What are those? So we talked about advanced expansion of AP classes and participation. So is this something that's not been available that you want to expand?
Really do. One of the things that we discovered, unlike other school systems, Birmingham City Schools had no supportive education foundation. So, as an outgrowth of the Yes We Can grassroots effort, we now have established a Birmingham Education Foundation, we refer to in short BEF, that is geared toward bringing the voice of the people to the school board and officials and help providing resources that would make a reality from what the people had to suggest.
Okay.
Now, what these 4 areas are, Vicki, that and keep in mind, and I may be sounding a little redundant, but these are ideas of the people.
Okay.
They're not any scholars or anybody, but they said we want improved academic excellence.
Yeah, so and also that goes to that professional development for principals and teachers,
right?
Enhancement and expansion of career tech programs, which I think is really important because not to say that every kid is going to go to college, but they have to have some skill if they're not.
Correct.
So this applies to creation of more vocational type activities. Is that what you're saying?
Expand those curriculum where there will be skills taught in the Birmingham City Schools that's reflective of the need of the business community in particular, as well as the health industry, whether that's nursing, whether that's electricians, electronics,
plumbers and
that thing, so that when our kids would be able to finish high school, hopefully they will have a certificate of competency that would say they have mastered those skills and those. So if they don't go into college or to a tech school, they have some training and skills that would allow them to get. We do like parent involvement. Well, why? If parents want all these great things that any other school system want, well, we found that there's blame to go around. The school system had, I guess, kind of gravitated to a point where there was not a friendly environment for parents.
I'm thinking the kids are the parents, so I don't know how in the world you can't do all the parents. It's crazy. Anyway.
Just not intentionally, but it was not a friendly environment if you were a parent going to one of our schools. And there were instances where parents were not actively seeking to be engaged in the work of their children. So there was a little bit of both going on. Well, to look at improving parental involvement, we've tried to look at and suggested changes in attitude, relationships and communications, making the schools more open. Interim Superintendent Barbara Allen has put a lot of time in this effort and really moving with that. We are going to explore things like a parent academy to learn how we can help parents as well become more involved.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I think right when we get into the meat of the conversation, we got to cut it off, but that's okay. We appreciate it. We might have you come back and talk some more about it. But anyway, if you want to learn more about We the People and this plan, where can they go online to get this information?
www.BHAM Birmingham educationfoundation.org.
Okay, and you can also come to Birmingham View and wrap it up, but we'll come to you right after this. Thanks.